Hello, welcome. Come on in. Come on in, come join me. Let's talk about these food labels again. This is part 3. Come on in. We're talking how to read food labels. This is part 3. So if you missed part 1 and part 2, I suggest scrolling down in our Facebook group and looking for those 2 videos because they're foundational to the next step. All right, we're building one on top the other. And yes, if you're looking at this video and you haven't joined our Facebook group, we are the Healthy Wholesome You Facebook group, and we would be excited to have you in our group. It's where women come together, we learn and we grow, and we take charge of our health and nutrition so that we can live healthful lives. So come on and join us, all right? Looking forward to seeing you. So part 3 of how to read food labels. So we started off with my Post Raisin Bran. Remember that one? We talked about the nutrition facts. We talked about serving size, components of foods, including the carbs, proteins, vitamins and minerals. And we talked about daily value. So we're moving on to part 3. So I hope you've been reading your food labels. I'm not doing this just for fun. I'm hoping we're learning as we're going and you are putting it, not just hearing it, but putting it into action. So I hope you're paying attention to those serving sizes. Let me see you in the chat. If you are paying attention to those serving sizes, let me know that what I'm doing here with these videos is actually helping you to take charge of your nutrition. If you're looking at servings per container and really assessing whether or not you should eat that whole package of whatever food you're about to consume, let me know in the chat, all right? I'm so excited that you ladies are learning and growing in this area, and I'm excited to do these videos for you. So let's get into these food labels again. So today I'm going to move on from my Post Raisin brand, and today I have this item. It's Italian dressing. It's Simply Artisan Blend Italian dressing. Okay? And just like the Post Raisin brand, it comes with its own nutrition fact on the back here. But in addition to that, moving on is the ingredient list. So if you haven't already grabbed a food item, go ahead and grab something that perhaps you just consumed or will consume soon, or just have in your house or in your pantry or nearby, and let's follow along together. So the nutrition facts, as we've discussed in video 1 and 2, gives us the amount of each of the food components in our food. But the ingredient list here tells us about what actually is in our food, right? So beyond the carbs, the proteins, the vitamins, what actually is in our food. And one most important thing to know about the ingredient list is that the ingredients are listed in the order of priority of how much of that quantity of an item exists in this food. In other words, what's listed first exists in the largest quantity in that food. What is listed second is second most in terms of how much of it is in this food. Okay, so on my ingredient list here, I'll read it off. The ingredients are water, distilled vinegar, sugar, extra virgin olive oil, soybean oil, salt, and then it says contains 2% or less of garlic, onion, natural flavors, spices, rosemary extract, lemon juice concentrate, xanthan gum, and then there's an asterisk that says dried. So all of the items that were dried, such as the garlic and onion, have an asterisk next to it because it was used as a dried ingredient and not a fresh ingredient. So these are the ingredients in my Artisan Blend Italian dressing. And so water is listed first. So there's more water in here than any other ingredient. So remember I said they're listed in the order of the quantity, the amounts in the food item. So water is the number one ingredient in my Italian dressing. The second ingredient is distilled vinegar. So there's the second most ingredient in this food item is distilled vinegar. The third most would be sugar. The fourth most would be extra virgin olive oil. So according to how much of it is in the food is how it's listed. So it's listed according to the quantities here. So when you are reading a food label after you've examined the nutrition facts, maybe you've determined it's good for you, then you really want to pay attention to the ingredient list. Because, for instance, if sugar is listed as the first ingredient, that may be one you want to put back on the shelf, right, at the grocery store. Simply because if sugar is the most, in terms of quantity, it's the highest quantity in the product, it's bound to be a really not good for you product, right? If oil is your first ingredient, you may want to reconsider, as well as other chemical compounds, some of which often we cannot pronounce, right? So if those are the largest quantity ingredient in your food, you may want to reconsider consuming that food, right? We're looking for those good for you foods instead of those not good for you foods. And so pay attention to your ingredient list. If you're finding things on the ingredient list that you can't pronounce, you probably should leave that one alone. You want to eat the most healthful foods that there are. And you also want to make sure that your nutrition facts match up with your ingredient list and you're truly eating a healthy food item. So I'm going to end this video here. I hope you learned something. Remember, not only do the nutrition facts list one serving, but the ingredient lists are in the order of quantity from the largest to the smallest or least amount in your food. Hope you learned something. Looking forward to hearing about what you're learning from these videos, how you're taking it and applying it to your life. I am going to do a fourth and final video to really talk not only about the nutrition facts and the ingredient list, but to move beyond that to really talk about how much sugar should we have in a day, how much sodium should we be having in a day, and how that relates to your food label. So talk to you soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.